Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's another episode of Just 101 with Juliee. Today I'm actually so excited because I have an interesting movie review to do. I've been hearing this movie Squid Game for the longest. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Squid Game, but I said, okay, let me just watch this Squid Game and see what it is all about. Let me see what the craze is all about, the rave is all about, and everything. And I was not disappointed. I wasn't disappointed what I watched. It kept me on my toes, from beginning to the end. I had to watch it. Unlike me, when I watch movies, I take a break in between. But this time I didn't take a break at all because I just wanted to see the end of the movie. Wow, it was so so interesting to watch. Okay, it just had to do with a lot of people who are living miserable lives, and also they were given a chance to come and play a game to win a certain amount of money so that they can pay all their debt, because they were actually in debt. All of them that actually were accepted to play the game were actually knee deep in debt. They were in debt, so they were living practically miserable lives, so they had no choice but just to accept to come and play this game, because it will help them, at least when they win the money, it will help them to actually sort out a lot of problems that they had in their real lives. So they had to play this game, but what they didn't know at first was that it had to involve their lives. Their lives might be taken. That was what they didn't know at first. So when they got into the arena, should I call it arena, where they had to play the game, when they got into the arena, okay, they were actually welcomed, and they were told that if they play their game well, they're going to win. The person that wins will take home a sum of 45.6 billion. There were 456 people that actually went into play the game. 456 people. So they were addressed. They were all wearing uniforms, green uniforms, and they were addressed by their numbers, not their names. So the lead actor, his name was actually Ji-hoon. So he had a lot of things outside. His life was miserable. He had a daughter he couldn't take care of. He had a mom that he was depending on for survival. So they had no choice but just to come in to play this game, see if they can win themselves money to take care of themselves and their life, actually. So the first game they played was a very simple one. A game, you can call it a game that children play, but it's not simple this time, because lives will be lost. Okay, if you don't win, you're gonna die. So what happened was, okay, they give them the rules that nobody's allowed not to, the general rules for staying in the arena to play the game, or general rules actually for all the players, is that nobody's allowed not to play the game, and anybody that refuses to play the game will be eliminated. And the third rule is that the game can actually be terminated if majority agrees. That was the three rules that were guiding the players, for them to be able to play the game. So the first game was just a game of, let's call it, red light and green light game. So what the rule basically is, when you hear red light, you're going to stop moving. If you hear green light, you're going to keep moving. Anybody caught still moving when the red light was called will be eliminated. Do you understand? So that was just what happened. I guess most of them were not paying attention because they were just missing. They didn't even understand the rules of the game. A lot of people died before the old man, who is actually the number one player, came out and actually put them through on how to play this game. That was how the other people were able to pick up, and they continued playing. Out of 456 people that actually went in to play that game, just 201 people survived. The others were killed. That was when they knew that it was no longer a joke. It was no longer a joke. They had to buckle up. No, when they knew that it was no longer a joke, that this involved loss of lives, that was when they actually took it seriously, and they decided, majority of them decided not to play the game anymore. And you can remember from the third rule, they said the game can be terminated if majority agrees. If they don't want to play, majority refuses to play the game, agrees that they're no longer going to play the game, then the game can actually be terminated. So that was why they allowed, because majority actually chose not to play the game, so they allowed them to go home. When they went home, they still faced a lot of thing, because they were still facing all the things they were facing, you know, before they came into the house, before they came into the arena to play the game. They were still facing it. Their life was still miserable as hell. A lot of them had to make the decision to come back into the house. So out of the 201 people that actually went out, 187 people returned back to play the game. That was when everything became so serious. They had to like just pay attention and focus on the game. And this game, you need to be smart. It doesn't just entail physical strength. You need to also be smart equally to be able to play this game. Apart from smartness, you also need to be selfish to be able to survive, because life is involved. If you're not that selfish, you might die. Okay, so they had to actually take it serious, and they put in their efforts. Okay, the second game came in, and it was a game of shapes. The names of these games, they even tell you the rules of the game. You see it as a very simple rule, as a very simple game that children play. But this one is actually hard because it involves your life. It's a matter of life and death. If you do not win, you're going to die. That was just what happened. So the game of shapes actually just entails them, you know, selecting a particular shape. Then they were given a case of honeycomb. So the shapes were actually drawn in that honeycomb. So all they had to do was just to detach the shape from the honeycomb. And in the process of detaching, if any of the shape breaks or falls up, then the person automatically dies. The person is killed automatically. So they have to be careful. So the lead. They had to form teams actually. So this lead player Gihum had a team. They were a team of 4 people. So they formed these teams. They were going to play the game together and all. But when they got there, one of them actually got knew about the game, but he didn't tell them that they had to pick simple shapes. So he just went on and picked he was selfish. So he went on and picked a simple shape, which was just a triangle that would be easy to detach from the honeycomb. So Giho, not even knowing what was happening, went to go and pick umbrella. And the umbrella was actually hard to detach, but he picked it. Until they now told them the rules of the game. Those that picked hard shapes, they knew that they were actually in for it. So that's how they continued playing the game, and a lot of them also lost their lives, equally lost their lives. A lot of them lost their life because some of them were able to detach the shapes, some of them were not able to detach the shapes, some of them were able to detach it, but there were breakages on what they detached, and that's just how they lost their lives. It went on and on until Gihun was actually able to get an insight that if he uses his saliva on the back of the honeycomb, or whatever it's called, then the shape will be able to detach. That was what saved him at the nick of time, and he was able to do that. Other people actually picked up from him and started doing the same thing, and that was how some of them were actually able to survive. So after doing that, so they were actually they went into the house. They were given a very little amount of food, and you just also need to be greedy. Some were greedy and got a more food than the others. So those that did not even get at all had to go and fight from there. One person was actually killed because it was a man who was actually wicked. I can't remember his name. His number was player 101. So he was actually wicked. So he got more food because he went multiple times that he was supposed to go get. So he fought the other one that did not even get food at all. So he killed him in the process. And these people, that was actually the strategy they used. They wanted to start fighting and killing themselves, so that it would just the weaklings, the weaker links would just be taken out, while to remain the stronger ones. So at night, they just planned that at night when everybody's going to be sleeping, they're going to start fighting. That's what they started doing. They started fighting and started killing themselves until the old man actually intervened and said they should stop, that they are all going to die if they continue like this. That's how they stopped fighting for that particular time. Then it was morning and they had to go for the next game. This particular game actually, is a game of tug of war. This one actually just involves physical strength, tug of war. So they were asked to each pick form a team of 10 each. Like, just go and look for people that will join your team, so you guys will make up 10 and be able to play the game. And if you're smart enough, you know that you're supposed to get people that are strong, like very strong, so that when the game is being played, you guys will have the upper hand. So a lot of people got people that are strong, but some people actually still got, because we have women there, so women were seen as weaklings. So this Gihun now, he had 3 women in his team and an old man, which already limited their chances of winning the game. But they had to devise a strategy for them to win. The old man had to help out and give them a strategy that they used, followed by the other man, which is player 218, that helped them, and they were able to win that game. The others had to die. The other team of 10 that lost the game died. That was how they lost it. They were gradually reducing and reducing in number until the okay, this is just the third game. The fourth game involved a game where this third game, that's actually where the one that actually got me, because a game of a game of, I will just call it a game of selfishness. If you're not selfish, you won't be able to play this game. You won't be able to play this game. So at first they didn't know what was happening, so they just asked them to pick. They were just asked to pick to be two, like form a team of two people that will play each other. Then they'll play a game between themselves and win. So so they were just picking their friends. Now they thought, oh, let's pick. They thought it's something that are going to fight, just like the tug of war, that they have to be a team and fight. This one, they didn't know that they were playing against themselves. So they picked a game of two. Most of them were picking their friends, their loved ones, and all that. That was where I saw selfishness in the highest order. There's this Indian man. The Indian man paired up with the other man, which the Chinese man, which is number 2 player, 218, and the Indian man was actually winning the game. He was actually winning the game, but what happened was that when the other man saw that he was winning, he couldn't die, so he had to deceive him. God, he had to deceive him and collect all his pebbles, because they said the rules of the game that the person that will take all your if your partner gets all your pebbles, then you will die. You'll be eliminated because you lost the game. So he had to devise a means, and he tricked the Indian man. The Indian man actually trusted him and said, okay, he doesn't want any of them to die. So he tricked the Indian man into believing that, oh, he was trying to help him and all that. And that was how the Indian man lost his life. That's selfishness. That one actually got to me, because I felt, oh God, this is really selfishness. But it's a game. Like, all is fair, like they say in a game. So it's actually a game. So that was what happened in that particular game. Then Gi-hun did not see anybody to pair up with, so he had to pair up with the old man, because he didn't want the old man not to have a partner, because nobody wanted to go with the old man. Nobody wanted to go with, because the old man is a weak link now. So he had to actually pair up with the old man, and that was how both of them played. The old man was actually winning him. Was that then he became selfish too, because he tried to play smart, because the old man was forming dementia. Like, I felt the old man was actually playing that, because the old man actually wanted him to win. So the old man started forming that he didn't remember what was happening. So because of that, what's his name? Gi-hun tricked him and won the game. He easily won that game. I felt the old man just allowed him to win the game, and that was how the old man was assumed to be eliminated anyways. Only for us to find out that later the old man is actually the mastermind of this whole thing. That was like he just let Gi-hun win. He's just the mastermind of the whole thing. Later to find out at the end of the movie that the old man is actually the mastermind of the whole game and everything. Him and his friends just wanted to have fun, and that was what they did. Instead of using horses to play their game to have fun, since they have all the money to do throw away, they decided to use humans as their horses. That was just what happened. So the fifth game was a game of glass, I think stepping glass or something like that. So it was on the floor. It was made up of 2 different types of glasses. There are glasses that are strong enough that when you step on it doesn't break. Then we have other glasses that when you step on it breaks and you fall. Immediately it breaks and you fall into the pit, you're dying. So you have to know, to decide, to be able to detect the glass that is strong and the one that is not strong. Here, smartness also came in, and also selfishness also came in, because as you're wasting time, the more time you're wasting, the time is ticking. So you just have to play the game fast so that you either win or you lose. So, okay, there was a man, when other people must have gotten it wrong and they died on the line, a man that said he used to fix glass before, he used to work on glasses before, so he was able to detect the glass that is a hard glass by just mere looking at it, and the sound, I think from the sound of the glass and some other things, he was just able to detect that this glass is hard and this is the one that if you step on it won't fall. So when he was trying to do that, so the people there, because we had the front man, we had the VIPs that came to watch him, then we had the hosts, we had the marksmen. So when they started watching him and they saw that this man was actually getting it, they decided to put off the light so that the man would be confused, he wouldn't know what to do. So when they put off the light, so he had to depend on sound to be able to get which glass, but they didn't have something to use to actually get that particular one. But they tried, and they used the marble that Gi-hun was actually able to save, and he was able to throw the glass, and they found out that he was able to find out, but it was not enough because he needed another glass. So he was trying to find it out. Then this other player 218 that has become greedy and selfish and all pushed him into this, and I was able to find out he pushed him, and that's how the man fell. That's why I say, if you're not greedy, if you're not selfish, if you're not smart, you might die. You won't be able to win that game. But sometimes you also need to be good-hearted too. So what happened? So that's how the man lost his life. Then the player 218 was able to scale through, and he went, and others now took, were able to learn, saw how he did it, and they followed suit. And that's how 3 people were left out of 456 people that started the game initially. 3 people were left. Can you imagine? 3 people were left. So that's how it went on and on. Then the 3 people that were left, they gave them very good food to congratulate them for actually being the finalist of the game. 3 people, that's Gi-hun, who is the lead actor. Then the player 218, and also the female, a female too that's also strong. But the glass shattered when she was trying to cross after they crossed the glass is shattered. So the glass, one of the glass was able to hook her up on her body, and that was how she lost a lot of blood, and she was actually almost dying. So and she didn't tell anybody. So when this person noticed that she was dying, so he now told her that he was trying to call for help for her, but the other guy that has become selfish killed her. So it was just remaining. I'm just trying to rush this because you won't really get this if you do not watch this movie yourself. So that was how they watched the movie. He killed her, and it was just really 2 of them. That's Gi-hun and the other guy. And the last game was for both of them to fight themselves. And it was bloody. Like the rain even started falling when they already started fighting themselves, and they were fighting until towards the end. Okay, Gi-hun finally won. Definitely he won. But instead of killing the other guy, he's actually good-hearted, so he couldn't bring himself to kill the other guy, and that was just what happened. The other guy had to kill himself, but not before telling Gi-hun to take care of his mom, because he has a mom, and she was going to be in debt because he had a lot of debt, and he involved his mom's business and all that. So he begged Gi-hun to take care of his mom for him and all that. He now killed himself. So Gi-hun became the winner and was given the prize of 45.6 billion. So that was how he was returned back to where he was coming from. And for a year, he couldn't touch the money. He couldn't do anything with the money. He was even still begging money because he didn't want to have anything to do with that money, because the money involved people's blood and everything. So somebody that had a good heart like that was actually considering other people, that the people had to die for me to get this money and all that. So he couldn't even touch that money. He was so scared to touch the money. He didn't want to have anything to do with the money. So he just kept it in his account and let it like that lie and all that, until he now got a message from the old man to come and see him. That was when he realized that this old man has been the mastermind of this game from the beginning. So he was so angry. He was asking the old man, why did you let him leave? Why did he have to kill all people and all that? The old man was explaining to him that, they were old, they had a lot of money, but they were not happy, they were not enjoying their lives, they were not having fun anymore the way they used to. So they had to devise that game to make themselves have fun. Instead of using horses to play their games, they decided to use humans as their horses. You can see the wickedness of men. So that was how he told him and everything. The old man also died because he was already old and everything, had brain tumor, so he died and all that. So they now showed where what's his name again? Gi-hun actually had to go. He took care of his friend's mom, and he had to also the other girl that died, the third runner-up, she died, the second runner-up, should I say. So she actually begged him to take care of her little brother. So he also did that. He brought the brother to the player 218's mom, and for them to take care of. And we saw where he was going to go and meet his daughter to take care of her, and he had to call. He now saw that the game was still continuing. They were still recruiting people for the game. They were still looking for people that were that were in debt to recruit them back in debt. So it ended where he was going back to the house, to the arena, to go and fight them or something. So that was where the game ended. Okay, so it's actually a very interesting movie that will keep you on your toes. Like, you want to watch the end of the movie, and you have a lot of things to learn from that movie. That nobody can be trusted. Like, you cannot trust anybody. Nobody can be trusted. You have to be on your toes all the time. And sometimes, again, you need to be smart. Apart from being smart, you need to be selfish. You need to be selfish and greedy to survive in this life. That's just what the movie is just all about. So Squid Game is a must watch. Okay, so if you've not seen that movie, okay, I would like to advise you, go and check out that movie and you will not regret it. Go and check out that movie. All right. All right, thank you so much for watching. Okay, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Julie Hillz. Okay, this is just 101 with Julie Hillz. Okay, stay tuned on this channel. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, okay, share my videos, comment, okay, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed what you watched so far, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you on another episode of Just 101 with Julie Hillz. Okay, stay tuned. Love you all.